everybody, and welcome to the extras video, the very late extras video for Spider-Man 2, and yeah, so, hope everybody is having a good holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. So, we're just doing a quick thing here, and I want to mention, also, that I'm sorry that we didn't get around to Arkham Origins. A lot has happened in the last few months. Because I got all these done the end of October. So a lot has happened in November and a lot has happened in December. So, but I figured just before the end of the year, I'd close things off with a little quick vid. Just some sort of content to cap the year off. And then, hopefully next year will be a little better with that kind of thing. Because I got a lot of stuff on my plate for next year as far as playthroughs are concerned. And I'm hoping that we can get around to doing all of them. But if not, then, it is what it is. So, so what did we miss? Okay, so we have tokens all over the city. There's all types of different tokens you can grab. Skyscraper, city tokens, buoy token, like all sorts of stuff you can find. I'm not sure about all of them right off the top of my head. And yeah, so the second thing that I showed off was the vulture feathers. Just a little nice nod, Easter egg to the first game. Really cool stuff. I'm glad that they're paying attention to continuity, like in these early movie games, because usually they don't really do that kind of stuff for that occasion. But it's nice. It's pretty cool. And then also we have the hideouts. You can find hideouts all over the city with all types of criminals you can take out, and that's really cool. And they also have their own set of tokens for each hideout you can grab too. So, and then also there was the theater you can unlock from the Spidey store, which is cool. It's a neat little thing. It's nothing really too spectacular though. It's just like all the company logos and stuff and a couple demos for, combat, traversal, racing, that sort of deal. Speaking of races, there are races all over the city you can do. I think there might also be combat challenges, but maybe I'm thinking of Ultimate Spider-Man. But I might be wrong. There might not be combat challenges, but there's races at least. So if you want to do some races, you can do that. And I suck at these races in Spider-Man 2. And I've only played a few of them across my whole life because I've never really cared about, not until more recent games have I cared about, completion stuff, So, what's one thing this game could have really benefited from was alternate costumes. Maybe like classic comic Spidey or like black suit or something. Like, costumes are cool, and I always love when they're incorporated into video games, especially superhero games. Because superhero games, there's like, you can go across the board with however many costumes you want to put in there. So I think it would have been nice, but sadly we don't get it. We just have Toby Spidey, which is cool and all. But yeah, these races, they range from, there's easy to hard, and I think there's also extreme races you can do, which I may or may not be mistaken, but that is also just another thing. So this is actually the first time I've finished one of these races in Spider-Man 2, because usually when I've tried it before, it was usually just the hardest races. I have a memory where it's just like, do a loop. And I was trying for like 5 minutes to do a loop in the race, and I couldn't do it. So, whatever. Try this challenge again. No, we're not going to do that. So, just quickly, I'm showing off the Spidey store, which we've seen across the playthrough on various occasions. But I'm just showing off the last couple upgrades you can get. There's all types of stuff you can buy. Like, if I haven't pointed it out already, there's a lot of different upgrades you can buy. And there's also a couple extra stuff in here. Like, if you're health low, you can buy the cost of 29 points or whatever to fill your health back up. Another thing across the city you can find are hint markers, which are usually just some extra lines from Bruce Campbell, just kind of going on to whatever stuff. They're plastered all over the place, and they give you uh, they give you hints for all sorts of other stuff. Like there's tons of them in the city. So, and the next thing I'm showing off is the Daily Bugle missions you can do. So, I didn't make a point to do this in the playthrough because these are just kind of arbitrary. Like you can do these whenever, doesn't matter. But if you ever feel like getting some extra hero points, you can go to Robbie to see if he has any photos for him to take, which is mostly just landmarks and stuff you can get. So if you feel like snapping a photo for Robbie, you can go up to him, ask for a thing, and he'll give you some objective. Like this one is, I think this is like a art museum or some sort of gala. So you just gotta take however many pictures in the time span. So, and usually it's just like, at least for these ones, it's like, oh, I love that guy there. That was funny. My favorite shot. You can just take, you go in the specific order. I'm just going by this mission here. I've never really done these on my own time, so. Which I think there's at least one more photo for you to take. So yeah, it's just snap the photos and then get them back to the Bugle within the time frame, which I don't know how more difficult these get like later on, but it's just a thing you can do, and it'll be fine. So jamming out to some hard rock here, like my goodness, that's crazy. So I thought initially you were supposed to go back to Robbie to deliver the photos, but no, you got to go back to you got to go talk to JJ. Take one for JJ, or however the quote goes. Get those pictures to Jonah as soon as you can. Get those pictures to Jonah as soon as you can. Yeah, I didn't realize till here, like.
Got some pictures for the boss? I hope so. I could use the money. Good luck.
So we'll see how this cuts you. Nice. Nice, Jonah. Jonah's a cool guy. So the next thing we're showing off is the pizza delivery, which we showed off at the very beginning of the game, but I figured it'd be nice to show it off again for at least the extra portion of the video. So let's do this. So these, I remember doing a ton of these as a kid, and they do progressively get harder as you keep playing them. But it's just like in the movie, you're just delivering pizzas, and you're doing it in your Spidey costume because Spidey can do anything he wants to if he wanted to. So I guess pizza delivery is also another one of his talents. I find it, like, after watching the movie, I find it so funny just having these as a side extra in the game. Like, it's funny to me that the devs even put time into this. And they made one of the most meme-worthy songs of all time, which I bet all Italians cringe to whenever they hear this. I wonder what Swifty thinks of this song. I'll have to ask him after I'm done this video, or done recording for it. I imagine he's like, he does not care.
Maybe I'm not wrong to keep you on, eh? Keep up the good work and you will have a bright future here.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Nice. So we did it for Mr. Aziz. Yay! Okay, so one of the last things I'm showing off as far as stuff in the open world is the combat arena you can get by, I think, beating the game and also buying it from the Spidey store. So these the rounds keep progressing. Like, you're fighting different tiers of threats from across the game. Like, it's thugs, and then it's shocker guys, then Doc Ock stuff. You can even fight bosses in this arena, and like, it'll get to the point where it's just like you gotta fight all the bosses in one fell swoop, and make sure you can do it. And I'm just waiting to do the super OP whirlwind attack, because this thing is crazy when it comes to damage and range and stuff. It's great. I love this move so much. It's so good. I forget. I don't think you can unlock it early game, or maybe I'm wrong, but this thing is super cool. Come on. Nice. I forget how many rounds there are, but one interesting thing is that you can fight Calypso in one of the later rounds, which was, they had a cut idea of putting Kraven in this game. So I guess she was a leftover piece of it. And then the last thing I'm showing off, or some menu stuff. So you got missions, which is basically the post-game mission, which is getting 50,000 points or something, I forget. And then you got save and load. You could start a new game if you want to. Options, you can select your controller preferences. You can switch your volume, that kind of stuff. You could switch on or off for easy swinging, which basically, if you switch it off, it's basically just manual swinging. And manual is essentially you shoot a web and then you hit the X button to let go of that web. So, but I just do easy swing because who cares at the end of the day, right? Excuse me. I didn't want to play the full trailer in case of copyright, so we're just doing that. And then these are all the upgrades and stuff you can get later on. I turned the Xbox off and started back up, so you notice that I'm missing the upgrades I bought earlier. And you can buy combat upgrades, locomotion upgrades, and all kinds of other stuff. There's awards you can get. So if you do all the side activities, gold medal, the things, do a certain amount of crimes and whatnot, you just get awards. This is basically just the early version of what achievements would become later. So it's interesting that this game even bothered with it. So that's cool. Game Master. And then back to the thing here. And the last thing right here is basically a recap of how this year has gone for me. So, and dead. Continue? No. We are done with Spider-Man 2. So next year, I got some playthroughs in mind for us to do, and we're gonna get to it. So until then, have a great night and happy holidays, everyone.